Hey everyone! I've been using the Ego Power String trimmer for about 6 weeks, and just like my other reviews, there are a few pros and cons you'll want to be aware of before buying. So let's get into the details. I bought the carbon fiber bundle, which came with everything I needed to get going right out the box. Since this is my first Ego product, I decided to start with the cheapest carbon bundle, which includes one 56-volt 2.5 amp battery, the smallest from their lineup. All Ego batteries are interchangeable regardless of the tool, so you could technically use this battery in the lawnmower or leaf blower if needed. The option to collapse the shaft can be done using the included Allen key, but for work around the house, I'll be keeping mine as is for convenience. Several other reviewers mentioned that this might not be worth buying unless you already had at least one other Ego product due to the higher price tag. I've been curious about this trimmer for a while, and for that reason held off on buying. I'm still thinking about potentially updating my John Deere push assist gas mower next year, but the only drawback is that I don't know if it's going to be underpowered for my backyard. A French drain system was installed a few years ago, which does help the grass dry quicker, but if there are scattered thunderstorms throughout the week, my John Deere will struggle more than once if the yard is not dry enough. So let me know in the comments if you have any experience with that. Next to the Ego, my Black & Decker dual trimmer looks like it was designed for a 10-year-old girl. I'm going to keep it because it'll be used for other jobs. Okay, besides the obvious size difference, what are my first impressions? Once I started cutting, my first thought was, wow, what a beast. There is more than enough power available to handle the average suburban-sized yard. Again, I have the smallest battery size available, and I've never ran out or noticed the trimmer getting weaker. Also, it's very quiet, which is a big plus. I haven't pushed it to failure yet, but if I can nearly finish the front and backyard with one Black & Decker battery, I'd expect to be able to easily get 2 to 3 full cuts out of this. I've been charging the battery each time before trimming the yard just because my garage setup is convenient, but I might try to push it to failure later on just to see how long it'll last. It is overall very lightweight until the battery is installed. That's where most of the weight will be, and my arms did feel fatigued after finishing the entire yard for the first time. So compared to my old trimmer, no, it's definitely on the heavier side. However, you will find the range of motion that works best for your body type the more it's used, and I think this is going to be a better fit for taller people in the end because of the length and weight. Adjusting the handle and finding a comfortable armrest position will help keep your arms from tiring out early, and after a few weeks of use, it'll be comfortable. A common complaint that was a reoccurring theme from buyers is the low and high speed settings with no option to stay at a specific level. Instead, you'll have to become aware that you're about to transition from one speed to the next based on feel. I will mention there is a slight delay when moving the trigger from one position to the other. It's not a problem now, but I initially thought the same thing as some of the others, that they should have added that feature, but after using it for 6 weeks, I see why it's designed that way. There will be times when you'll want to quickly go full throttle and then drop back to the low speed. For my environment, most of the time I keep it in the low range, especially around the fence. Now the next question is, can you use this for edging? Short answer, yes, but with some annoyances. Since it's not designed for edging, if you decide to use it like that, with some practice it will give you a clean straight cut. The drawbacks are that you can't always see what you're doing because the shield blocks your vision. You basically have to guess where your starting point is, and once you see that you're in the right spot, you can start edging. It definitely worked best to move with the rotation of the line instead of against it while keeping your arms still. The next problem is that it seemed to use more line in this position than when it's cutting horizontally. Sometimes I might need to stop and give it a bump every few meters, and another time one end of the line went back into the housing and I had to refeed the cutting line. So I'll probably continue to use my old edger for those areas. After 6 weeks of using it both ways, there's only a few feet of my original line remaining, and I already bought some replacement line because I don't think it's going to last much longer. Fortunately, it's super easy to replace the cutting line, as you'll see from the previous tutorial if you haven't already. That link is also in the description. So to quickly recap everything, I think this is a quality product with a lot of power for the money. I can see this as being very awkward for shorter people because of the length and weight, but ideal for taller people with a steady trigger finger. If I were living out in the country and had a bunch of tall grass around my property, this would be a must-have because it really is a beast, but something I probably wouldn't have bought if I were not already thinking about adding at least one more Ego product to my lawn care collection. If you found this helpful, be sure to check out my product reviews playlist for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.